Astonishingly Odd Podcast. Every Monday, 11:30 a.m. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let's go. It's the OWD family, we gon' do our thing.
Welcome back to the Astonishingly Odd Podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We are also on all audio platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, all of that, man. You can find us everywhere. I go by the name of Astonish, and like always, I'm surrounded by my brothers. But today, we have a special guest host in the house tonight, man. It's been a long time coming. Pause. But, man, I'm glad this man was able to make it to the pod today. We scheduled in advance. Had a whole lot of craziness happened today, but we made it happen. We got my man, DJ extraordinaire, and he do all type of other shit, too. You know what I'm saying? We got DJ Sin in the building.
Yes, sir.
What up? Thank you for having me, y'all. I'm excited to be here, man. Super stoked.
Sir.
Super stoked.
Yes, sir. And then also, we got some of the usual suspects. To the left of me, we got my man Javito.
What up, everyone?
To the left of him, Chris L.
What it do?
Yes, sir. High Speed, unfortunately, couldn't be here today. Neither could Reap. They got stuff going on. You know how life happened, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Give them grace.
Mm-hmm.
Like a
Give him grace.
Like a guy that I thought was a wise man once told me. Give him grace.
I like
Give him
that.
grace, man.
I like that.
Yes, sir, man. But shout out to our brothers. Y'all definitely here with us in spirit always. You already know.
Hey, man. Check my shirt out, G.
A little higher.
Let me see.
Mike's in the way. It says what? Oh,
Packers party with Daddy.
Ooh, I like that.
Dude, I think you're
I'm
right.
coming in hot, bro. You know what I'm saying? For this season, bro. Coming in spicy, G.
Yes,
I wanted y'all
sir.
to see that. I thought that was dope, bro.
I didn't notice that that's what that said.
I didn't either. He been here the whole time. I never looked at his
Right.
shirt. That's crazy.
Can we comment on the Bears colorway though? You know,
Yeah,
like
man.
you know, come
You
on,
know.
That's-
double down.
Come on,
That's
man.
just what set it off. You know
Double
what I'm saying?
down.
And look, what are the odds I'll bring my Bears hat today?
know?
You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
You know?
He is sick, baby.
Hey, bro, we connected, dog. Javito, how was your week, brother?
It's been interesting. I can't even lie. I went on a work trip on Tuesday, and it went late. I got out like at around 9:00. Went to go eat something. Driving back to the hotel, I got hit by a police officer.
That is wild.
Wow, damn.
That's crazy. Let me tell y'all police officers something. Hey, slow y'all ass down, man. Y'all be doing some reckless stuff. Y'all don't even be going nowhere. You just trying to make it back to the station so you can get off on time. Slow y'all ass down, man. Just because you got a badge don't mean you're above the law. You doing what you not supposed to be doing and you putting people in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother. And if something would happen to him, it's another topic on this list that could have happened to y'all.
Yeah,
Would
no
have been
doubt,
a memorandum video about me, all the good memories y'all had and shit.
man. Hey,
Man,
you're here though.
that's because then where we gonna do the podcast at? Like, to be honest with you, like,
Life goes on, right? It's crazy. That's what was crazy to me.
Do the podcast.
Hey, listen, we squatting.
We
We
Sorry, bro.
squatting, bro. In the memory of Javito, we in here.
Yo, but that was crazy because when I got back to work, it was quickly how fast everybody just moved on without me and shit. And I was like, I'm back, guys. Like, I took the next day off, but it kind of woke me up a little bit. I'm like, damn, I'm replaceable as hell.
Brother, I would have took the week off
Hell
after
yeah, I
that.
would have took off, man. I would have told him, man, my doctor said I need to back you out of me. I'm gonna take the week off, dog. Like,
Well, I take it that was like the end of your week. You know, I'm sure you ain't do nothing more eventful
I mean,
after
it was
that.
Mother's Day, so I went to go see my mom for Mother's Day, and it was nice. We barbecued.
what's your
Everything-
barbecue?
She made arrachera, steaks and some beans.
Gotta have some steak tacos.
Yeah,
Or
I
did
mean,
y'all just eat the steak like on like a...
No, see, in Hispanic households, there's always tortillas there. So if you want to take
like
that
bread.
cheddar
Yeah.
and rip it up and make yourself a taco, you could do that at any given time.
Hey,
All right, man, there you
we
go.
cooking that cheddar and the tortillas next to each other.
Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
yeah.
All right.
A couple onions, but yeah. Other than that, it's a good week. Can't complain. Like Chris usually says, woke up 7 days.
7 days, baby.
Yeah, and shit, it almost wasn't that.
It wasn't.
So there we go.
It woke me up to the new lyric. Every time I hear this now, it hits hard different. Like life's a bitch, and then you die because you never know when you're gonna go. So
That's why you need to be smoking weed.
yeah,
Man, I tell you.
Don't leave the best part of the song out, of the hook out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why we get high. Like Javy said, Mother's Day did pass, so we want to shout out to all the mothers out there. Every type of mother, the single mothers, the mothers that's in happy relationships, the mothers that got a new husband that's not the real father, but he take care of them like he the real fathers. Y'all mothers too, and
The dog moms.
the dog
Stepmoms.
moms.
The grandmas.
You know, the two moms that are in lesbian relationships. We want to shout out y'all too. All of y'all matter, man. Happy Mother's Day.
That ain't the two moms, man. That's the friend, your best friend. Like that's always your auntie's best friend, bro.
Yeah, but that's until she start living there.
Even when she lived there, that's still her best friend, bro. Like she ain't never came to the family cookout and they ain't saying that's Sheila's best friend Bertha.
they've been friends for a long time.
They've been
too.
friends forever. Yeah, you know.
Bro, it's like that 50 Cent song when he said, coming up, I was confused. My mama kissing the girl.
Yeah.
That line came out of nowhere too. It was like unnecessary as hell, and he just went right past it. Where I'm like, did I hear that right?
Yeah, he, like, never spoke upon it again.
Never to be thought upon. Didn't 50's mom, she got killed, right?
Nah.
50's mom.
Oh yeah, she did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
got,
did.
like-
She did get killed.
Isn't
Yeah,
it like the Kanan movie?
yeah. I
TV
think
show?
it's something like that. But
So does that mean that she's gonna die eventually?
who? Oh, the
mom in Raising Kanan.
I mean, if it's closely like relating to the true story, then yeah, she would have to. She gotta get up out of here.
They showed Marvin in real life, and he looks just like Marvin. Straight up, dog. He wore the dress shoes and the slacks every day, like had a little light sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvin looked like Marvin, like the real Marvin for sure.
Okay. Well, all right, Javy. Unfortunate week for you, but we're gonna move on because I don't want to stay depressed. Chris L, man, tell me you got something exciting you did this week, bro.
Man, 7 days, bro, above ground, you know.
Blessed.
Blessed, brother. Not really, bro. Kicked it. The games was on all week, so I was betting, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, did you win some money?
UFC. Won some money off UFC.
Okay.
Yeah, won some
It's looking
money
up.
this weekend. I actually cashed out. I should have won more, but I put together this wicked parlay that I shouldn't even have put together because it was too many legs anyway. So like I got to like the last bit of it. It was like 2 fights left. Like so I need to win these 2 fights and I win like a stack.
Nice.
And I was seeing the girl getting her ass whooped, so I cashed out.
You pulled out.
Yeah, I cashed out.
Yeah.
So-
Well, you made the right decision.
Yeah, Mom's Day, you know what I'm saying? Send some flowers, you know.
Yeah.
That's about it, bro. You know,
That's
real
what's up,
smooth and
man.
real
That's what's
easy.
up.
Oh,
Yeah.
today, well, you know, I told you guys already, but I came up on that young settlement check. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah,
I don't know what it's for or why, but that was great. So
I don't never get blessed like that, G.
You gotta fill out those forms.
you gotta fill them forms out, bro. Every
When they send you
time.
that
I didn't even
email,
know it was
reply back.
forms to fill out.
Man, whenever you see one, bro, just fill it out. Like
Check your
even if it
junk
don't matter to you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those mesothelioma ones, you need to do them too.
I be getting some of them joints in the mail.
Then you need to send them all back, bro.
Yeah, bro.
You know what it is? That you gotta freaking buy shipping for that, and I don't think a lot of people want to do that. Like, how do you even send forms nowadays, like physically?
They give you an email to upload shit.
You could do it online.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah, I
changes
mean,
everything.
this is a whole different world, bro.
So you
Everything's
take that
online.
card, right, Javy, and it's like a address on it, and you could go online from that address, and then you just do everything there. You could upload any materials you have or supporting documents, whatever.
All right,
But I
brother.
say do them all. If it's $5 or $1,500, like do that. Like, you never know when that check gonna come. It's gonna be like shit, $90 or something like that. You'll be like, dang, man, where did this come from?
All right, man, take that settlement, invest back into the pod, bro. That's
Hey,
all I'm
man,
saying.
you know what I'm saying, for a team.
Invest back into the pod, Brody.
Well
You
played.
dig?
We don't really need nothing else now. You over here buying cameras and shit.
Yeah, you just gonna tell my week for me, huh? We ain't even on my segment yet. You
Oh,
wanna
I
tell my
didn't
week
even know
for
that
me?
you were gonna put that out there like that. I didn't know that
You
was
did, so yeah, I got to now, even if I wasn't. Yeah, motherfuckers just love to tell my business.
Yeah,
All right.
it's out there to be told.
Okay, you want some money, you got some money, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna invest into the pod, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
There's a money thing.
You know what I'm saying?
There's money there. Money
That's it? You still didn't bring the chili.
Money week, yeah. Good thing I didn't.
Yeah. What? It's saying you like chili?
Yeah.
There you go.
Come on, man.
Understood. Damn, like I mean, still.
Bad host, man.
Did all the homies gonna be like, oh, well, you gonna bring it when we not here? Well,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean-
sounds personal, right?
Yeah, pretty much. All right, DJ Sand.
Yeah.
You still going by that moniker because you do so many other things, bro.
So it's Scendsei now.
Sensei.
Yeah, I like that.
And that actually came from one of my old students when I was teaching at the Scratch DJ Academy in Chicago before they closed down.
Yes, sir.
They were like, yo, they just started calling me Sensei, and it just kind of spread. And
It fit.
and like when I was going like during the pandemic and stuff, I was asking wifey like, should I change it? Like, I don't know if I'm a sensei or not, because I respect that culture, I'm very into the Japanese culture and all that. And like, she's like, you are like, you wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
And like, you should
Yes.
definitely rock that. And then it turned into sensei music, and I kind of dropped the DJ part of it too, just cause it's, more than a DJ. So,
Yeah.
sensei, but it's still spelled like sen, cause that came from Scratch and Blend put together. That was
Scratch
like,
and Blend, okay.
Yeah, SCEND. That's like the.
Bro, I never knew that.
I
I've known
never
you
knew
for
that
years.
either. That
I
was
never
wrong.
knew that.
Well, those were the so my original name, and this is not a lot of people know this, but like my OG
DJ Lobster.
Well, DJ Lobster, the Chicago Mobster,
Mobster.
you coined that. You coined that. Hey, shout out to Kasha's. The days of Kasha's, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes,
They're still
sir.
there thriving. They're still there. I just went and had a sandwich from them on Tuesday, bro. They still got the Tuesday special too.
Hold on, let's let Chris Ill mess with his microphone.
Yeah, no
while
doubt.
it's all up in the audience's ear.
Why are you worried about me, man? Let me look at this thing. It's like,
We'll fix
it's at
it.
my belly button now.
He got the belly mic.
We'll fix it on. We'll fix it on break, bro.
Like, damn, man, what's going on?
Yeah, that looks crazy. It's
It's
because
slowly keep going down too. Like,
I
it's
know why
slowly-
I know why it's happening, but we'll fix it. Just leave it for now. We can hear you cool.
You sure?
We can hear
I can just hold the mic like this for the rest of the show.
Javi,
just
why are
do
you
this.
missing this? Like, yeah, get him with the
Nobody just
no
do this,
on
bro.
the thing.
Oh,
Yeah, gee.
Step
Jesus
into my office.
Christ,
Why?
man.
because I don't want to show
Fire.
the audience what we're doing.
No, yeah,
I'll be like this, yo. Like, yeah, so,
let them get a sneak peek into behind the scenes. What I do want to say is, man, look. You hear all type of emotions going on right now. What I do want to say is, man, when I met DJ Sen, man, when he was DJ Sen back in the day, you dig, you know what I'm saying? And shout out, I got a video called Shine Like Dilla, where we is up on DJ Sen, Scendsei now. We was on his stoop. We always used to kick it on the stoop and
Stoop
everything.
life.
So it just fit that we shot that video there because that was a huge part of like everywhere we were in life at that moment. That was everything for us, you know what I'm saying? So it really meant a lot to me to be able to shoot it there. Other than that, bro, like this is one of the greatest DJs I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? I don't say that to gas him because that's my man's. It's just after seeing him and his growth, pause.
Bro, you ain't got to pause everything.
Man,
Nobody
hey,
was
look,
saying that.
Last episode got me
His
wrong.
growth is crazy, though. Dog.
But you wouldn't have said anything.
The pause culture is so wild to me, man.
Not to, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
that's the same one that got me with the Chris Crack episode.
Seeing his growth,
Yo,
bro.
man. I just have to
He's been
say,
seeing a lot
I just
of
gotta
people
find
grow.
another way to say it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta find another way. But like just seeing him from the beginning to how he evolved, like that was impressive, man. And this is a guy that, like any craft that he's in, he really pays attention, he really studies it, and he tries to be the best, the very best at everything that he does. So it's a lot of respect that I have and admiration for this guy, and I'm proud that he's my friend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you literally like one of the best DJs in Chicago and probably in a whole lot of other places too.
I appreciate that. It means a lot, man. It means a lot.
But how was your week though?
My week was good, man. I mean, you know, I'm a union guy, so like just working the hotel circuit right now. It's like festival season's upon us, so like everything is busy. You know, we run all that in Chicago. We own all those build outs, all the production and stuff like that. Hey. So, you know, Sueños is coming up in Memorial Day weekend, so that's the first of that Grant Park setup, and then you know the last to end that season is Lollapalooza. So those stages stay up and all that. So. You know, like I get pulled back and forth to different spots. So, you know, just did that and actually been tapping into my chi, doing like Tai Chi breathing in the mornings the last 2 weeks, which has been great. It's very, it sets the mood, man. You know, like I have problems meditating. Like I got too much in my brain, you know, and that's like, I was a, you know, heavy marijuana smoker forever. I'm on a break right now, but like that would help me slow my brain down actually. And like we were having this conversation outside, how like it just helped me focus, you know, and like then I had to detach from that, you know what I mean? And like find something else. Cause I'm like, you know, I'm 41 years old, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to, I was telling Chris, like I wanted to be a tool versus a crutch. You know what I mean? And like, so now like, you know, wifey is like super spiritual. She's really tapped into energy and, you know, she's helped me out a lot with that because I found spirituality on my own prior to us dating. And then, you know, now we're here, but like the Tai Chi, you know, the week was cool. Went and saw wifey's grandma. She's turning 93 next week. So we all
shout out to grandma.
We're gonna have the carne asada next weekend and all that. So you know, went to her crib yesterday and then surprised wifey with a new bike. You know, so that was cool. She had her Schwinn. She was attached to it for 10 years. Orange Crush. Shout out to Orange Crush. But I got her new Schwinn because she's like stuck on Schwinn. So I was like, all right, bet. You know, I was trying to get her to like look at other brands, but I was like, I get it. I understand. So we went and picked that up yesterday. So even though it wasn't working that good, you know, shout out to whoever built that and didn't build it right. But, you know, take it to the bike shop tomorrow before I go back to work. But it was a good week, man. Like, you know, Chris says, you know, 7 days, man. I believe that a lot. So it's been a good week, man.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. That's what's up. As for me, man, it was really slow motion this week. And I guess that's why today happened the way it happened. There's just a whole lot of madness and craziness that transpired today before the pod. But we was able to get here and make it. So we got another pod for y'all. Listen, that's why y'all need to like, subscribe, and tell your friends about it. Because the things we do for y'all, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, like Chris said, man, I picked up a camera today, man.
Yeah.
I picked up a camera. It's a camera that I was looking at for a while. I ended up falling in love with it.
So if y'all notice, he looks a little sharper. It's that camera he just bought.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, man. Look how
it's the aura, bro. Come on.
Look how great.
Don't play him like that. It's his aura.
Just because you're rich.
I mean, it could be the lens that I borrowed from Reap.
Oh,
so, it could be that.
Really
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
There's a lot of factors, bro. There's a lot of factors.
But man, I was excited for it. It came all late about Amazon. Y'all gotta get better. Like you gotta give people a time window. You just think people just sitting around all day with nothing to do. I can't. Why? How did I end up like last on the list? I'm sitting there. Then look, what's crazy is I'm at the crib, right? And a crazy number come in on my phone. I don't answer numbers that I don't know. You know, you got to call me a couple times. So I'll be like, okay, who is this? But it was a number from like Seattle. And I was like, what? And I ignored it. And then the number called back. And I was like, hold on, let me answer this because it might be the Amazon.
Right.
So I picked up the phone. I said, hola, ¿cómo está? And then it was the lady. She said, I'm from Amazon. And I was like, oh wait, I've been waiting for you. I thought it was a bill collector, so I had to disguise myself. So I went down and grabbed it. She's laughing at me. And I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that ever dodged bills before, Listen, bro, it's real. It's real. You dodged them like Jehovah Witnesses.
It's funny that you started to say Spanish. But like, what if like that person would have came back with
Spoke
Spanish?
Spanish, right?
Then I would have known that I don't know that person and hung up the phone.
Okay, because I was like,
You know what I'm
what
saying?
was you gonna say after that? Like,
Nah, bro,
oh,
it
my
was
bad,
all
bro. Who is this?
I was straight tactical mode, you know what I'm saying? But the camera ended up coming in, man, and you know, we utilizing it today, you know what I'm saying? So this is the first of many. I can't wait to like just go around flicking it up and like just playing with it. Pause.
You gonna take pictures with it though, not just video?
Yeah, I mean, it does both as a hybrid. Y'all want to know what camera it is, don't you? Look at y'all. Look at y'all nosy, bro. Like, why y'all so nosy like this, bro? Get out of my business. I just got a little thing, you know what I'm saying? Pause again.
Oh man, that was terrible.
Oh man.
Little thing happened.
It's no big deal.
I don't know. I don't know if that's a pause as much as it just might be depressing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of both. That's more of a hybrid.
Yeah, but my family come back in town this week, so I'm excited about that. A couple of days, I fly out there to go bring my family back home. So I think like that's gonna be like I feel complete again at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't been sleeping right. Everything just been all messed up.
You've been eating frozen foods.
Man, I've been eating
Sandwiches
and
cheese,
McDonald's.
mayonnaise.
Man, bro, the other day I bought like a sub from Jersey Mike's, and then I ate half of it up front and saved the other half later.
That's real though. That's very real.
I was like, I gotta spread this out, dog.
Yeah, you gonna need something to eat. It's funny because you don't eat. Like you gotta think about like, man, did I eat today? Like for real. Like you think like, damn, man, like you got somebody there with you that's gonna be hungry, so you know you.
Yeah, exactly. And I be doing so much, and like I be researching all the time, like things for the podcast. Like I be trying to make things better for y'all, thinking how we can improve. And focusing on self-improvement as well, you know. We all gotta grow, you know what I'm saying? Like Scendsei.
I like it.
Like Scendsei though. Like Scendsei say. You know what I'm saying? Like we getting older, you know what I'm saying? So that comes with a lot. I just found out this guy I was cool with in high school passed away. And I seen him at our high school reunion maybe like 2 years ago or something. And it's just crazy, you know what I'm saying? That like when you see people, and it was like, I think it was something health related. I don't know. I don't really be in people business like that. Yo, I had somebody pass away one time that I was close to. And then a guy he's like a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? I know the guy. Like we're cool. Like he could hit me up and be like, hey, what's going on? And it's straight. You know what I'm saying? But you like a friend of mine, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when this close friend of mine passed away, this person hit me up and was like, hey, yo, how did she pass? Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
get info out for you,
bro, like, why would you ask me that? And I'm not directly your friend. We like a link. We're a link apart.
Yeah.
You don't do that, bro. Like, I don't know what type of, who raised y'all? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Who does that?
Sneaky, man. That was nasty.
Yeah, so like I said, like we was cool, real cool back in high school. I know I got like a lot of close friends that still stay cool and connected, but I've been like, I just been away doing my own things. Y'all know I did music for a long time, and like everything surrounding my life was music. All of my friends became like people that's involved in music or shot videos and like all of that. You know what I'm saying? I just fully engulfed myself in that. So if you wasn't in that life, it was just high and by, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll catch you at the next show, brother, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But rest in peace to Caesar, man, you know what I'm saying? That was unfortunate to see. Real good brother. But yeah, we getting older, got to keep our health up, we got to maintain. I see the demographic too. I be looking at the analytics, dog. I know who watching us. So people that's watching us, y'all our age, you know what I'm saying? Most of y'all our age. We got a demographic from like maybe 18 to like 44 or 50 or something like that. All in that age range. Man, take care of yourselves, man. Go get checked out. Go to the hospital, go to the doctor. I know a lot of us men, we don't like to go to the doctor. but it's very important. It's very necessary. And yeah, I ain't know my week wrap up was gonna be like a little PSA. But y'all need it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we here for, man.
Hey, man, let them have it.
But before we go to commercial break, right, and get into the topics and everything, I just want to say, Sin, I want you to tell them a little bit more about you, everything that you come from, like your start and where you've, like, the things you've dabbled into now. You know what I'm saying? Just so people understand who you are.
I mean, man, I've been in music all my life. Like when I was a kid, my old man, he's a musician. He did a lot of Ukrainian music. I'm Ukrainian primarily. I did a DNA test and, I got a little mix of other stuff, but like 85% strong. You know what I mean? So like, I'm like, yeah, this other stuff's cool. Like, 1% Albanian or whatever. It's all right, whatever. But, no disrespect, but like, but he asked me when like in like kindergarten, first grade, like, do you want to do sports or do you want to do music? Yeah. And I grew up in the studio with him. We have a 4-flat, back in the city, and one of the back apartments was his like home studio. Right. And like reel to reel editing and 48 channel analog consoles and all that. I'm like, of course I want to do music. Like I want to be like you. Duh. Yeah. So like I got into that. I did piano for years. Then I got into guitar because of like the type of music I was really into, and I still am, and that led to DJing, and that came from me having a band in high school, and I was always the one putting together and coordinating all the practices, and they weren't at my house. Shout out to the homie Sam, and his parents were like amazing because they were just fully encouraging type of parents. His mom passed away, rest in peace, but like the Piazza family, like. If it wasn't for them, honestly, like I don't know where that path would have gone, because we were able to just go there and just be ourselves. We go to the basement and just completely rock out. I mean, I had the Janko jeans in high school. I was a little metal kid. You know what I mean? And we had a great time, and that's led to me going to shows at the Metro. Because I was a big Atmosphere fan. Yeah. So the backpack hip hop, classic slug. Yeah. And like I went to my first show and none of my friends were like into hip hop at the time. But I was like, man, I really like this. So I saw them at the Metro, and Mr. Dibbs was his DJ at the time. And it's crazy because I saw him do this routine where he took a drum break and was scratching Ozzy Osbourne that "Oh Lord Now" over it. Yeah. And I just blew my mind. I was like, wait, you could do this? You could take rock music? I was like, that's it. And it was like no disrespect to the band, but it was kind of, everyone was moving into their different spaces. Yeah. We were, I think, sophomores or juniors at the time. And like, that was it. I just deep dove into it. And I had a friend who at the time was linked up with another homie out in Gurnee. And he's like, yo, like, come out with me. He's like, he would basically spend the whole weekend. He would go after work on a Friday and come back Sunday night. And I didn't understand till I showed up. And, this dude had money and all that, but he was very like kind. You know what I mean? He wasn't like they came from money, his family, but they were just kind people. And his whole basement was just a full-blown studio. And I saw the turntables and I was just like, yo. That looks cool. I was like, I had like the stereotypical, like I broke my dad's expensive needle as a kid because I tried scratching a Led Zeppelin record. Yeah. You know what I mean? And before I knew the concept of scratching and all that. Yeah. And like, that was it. Like he put me on the tables and I just took 2 records and just started trying to do that. Mm-hmm. And from there, I ended up saving Layaway back when Layaway was a thing. Man, bro, throwing it back. I'm showing my age. It's good. Hey, Layaway. Now we got Afterpay and all these digital versions Klarna, of it. Klarna, Affirm. I know them all. I got them all. But that's how I get my gear too, But
I use them to this day.
Yeah, but that led
Shout out to Affirm.
Hey, legit. But I got my first set of turntables, and I would live at Gramophone Records, and I was able to afford like maybe 6 records at the time. And I had a friend, Joey, and he went by Joe Pipes, and he was this little white Polish kid that lived in the neighborhood, and the dude's lyricism was crazy. And I couldn't find him at the time when I met y'all already. Like he had moved out of the state and all that. Right. Yeah. But like he was like, yo, I just want to freestyle over these instrumentals. So he would legitimately just buy me hip hop singles and come by the crib. And we went to the studio that my dad had, and I brought my turntables down there, and like that was it. And I learned how to blend records down there just to make sure that I didn't stop their flow.
Right, while they rapping.
Yeah, because I had him, my homie Mike, my homie Nevin, like they would just all come over. You know, we would do, you know, the stoop life, but in the back.
Yeah.
And like that was it. And I just really honed in on it. And when I like matched my first beat, I was like, oh shit, I get it. Like I get it. Because you know, New York style is slamming records.
Yeah.
Chicago is a house bred community.
Yep.
So it's about blending. But when I started learning like how to blend hip hop, I was like, man, this is it. And that was it. Like I got just completely enamored and addicted to it. And you know, I got to meet amazing people through that who are lifelong friends now. And, you know, that turned into sitting in the studios and stuff like that and like wanting to take that route. So I learned over the pandemic, fast forward a little bit, because, you know, there's a long career in between that. But shout out to my homie No Way. He's like one of my closest friends, man. He had a studio on the northwest side in the city. And I would just live there. Like I was helping him manage the space. And he was just teaching me all the engineering stuff. Yeah. So when the pandemic hit, like I was going by his crib. He was giving me all the notes that he had because he went to I forget what school he graduated from, but he was working at CRC when Chance did the third album, the 3, you know, like that. Was it Coloring Book? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. He's got credits on that. He's got a Grammy for that. So like I learned the majority of my stuff from him, and that was it. Like fast forward now where I was like, now I can make those beats the way I want to make them sound. Now I can, you know, record people and just do all that. And like, that's where Scendsei kind of came from. Cause it was just like this evolution, you know, and like, and you know, I got older and I wanted to step away from the DJ world, and like pre-pandemic, I was already making moves to become music director more so at the spots that I was playing. Cause I'm like, yo, I have this crazy Rolodex of DJs that I know, like, and I was always like, shout out to my homie Slot. He told me like, yo, you're like, if I had to sum you up in a sentence, you seek knowledge to share knowledge. And I'm like, damn. And that just lived with me. And that's still to this day. And like, I've always been an open book because a lot of people like Rude One, Pumpin' Pete, PNS from the Mo-Man, you know, all the Panic, everybody was very open with me. So why, if I didn't get gate kept on, like why would I do that?
Right.
And that's led me to where I'm at now, you know, and I'm very grateful, you know. Now I'm, you know, I get to work dope concerts at dope venues and, you know, whatever, Salt Shed and Lollapalooza and whatever it is. But like, I get to still be in audio, but I'm just on the other side of the stage now.
Yep.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean?
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. It's great.
It's always
beautiful
about that
thing.
pivot, man. Once you got something down, that you can always pivot within it to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever think that it's just gonna be strictly this all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you got your eggs in a row
Spread
where
out.
you can diversify your bonds.
Yeah,
for lack of
yes,
better
sir.
It's
words.
hard though,
You know
because
what I
once
mean?
you start making a little movement, I mean, you know, you talking about the shoebox, man. Shout out to the
Yeah,
shoebox.
man. Shoebox,
like,
man.
that was the music trap house. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like
sir.
that was like the trap house for music. Like I had so many dope Chicago artists come through there, and we would record, and like I would always be like, I'd get anxieties. I'm like, man, I don't have a studio. But then when I started realizing, like, it's just about the environment. You know what I mean? Like, cats would pull up. You know, we go, like I said, Kasha's, we'd get the Tuesday special.
Yes,
and,
sir.
you know, it was just a vibe, man. And it was just a great era, you know? And, like, I
Truly
keep that
was.
close. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And, like, I carry that with me wherever I go because I don't forget my roots, man. You know, this power is ancestral.
Yes,
You know what I mean? Like,
sir.
it's power
Hey,
in
man,
ancestral.
everybody got shirts that mean something today, man.
You know, I was actually gonna wear a shirt, but then I realized it had a curse word on it. And I was like, I can't do this, but it's your president ain't shit. So, you know what I mean? I was gonna wear that and make a statement, but I'm like, you know what? Let me keep it clean. And
I want to tell
You
y'all.
can always make a statement. I'm always making statements on this motherfucker.
Look, I want to tell y'all something, man. There's two type of people in Chicago. There's people that say gurney, and there's people that say gurney. So
I'm a gurney type of person.
we found out what type of person that Sin is today. Sensei,
what did I say? Gurney?
you said gurney.
Gurney?
Yeah,
Yeah,
gurney.
I think I'm a gurney type of
You're a
person.
gurney. I'm a gurney. I just say
You're
gurney.
gurney?
Yeah, I'm gurney. I'm gurney. But other than that, man, he kind of glossed over the fact that he took over the hip hop project as well. that was based out of Loyola. Shout out to Cosm Rocks. You know what I'm saying? Because Cosm Rocks was holding it down for the longest time out there. And then when he stepped away from it, he left it in good hands, man.
Cosm with the fro?
No,
Last
Cosm
year?
works for 720 now.
Yeah, he does sports radio.
Commentator.
Yeah.
Him and Roper. It was, and that's a crazy story too, because like I had seen them put up a post that they had to, stop what they were doing, and if anybody wanted to help, whatever. And I immediately was like, yo, however I can help, because they had invited me to be a guest DJ before and stuff like that. And I loved the radio, like I loved it, and I got a face for radio. You know what I mean? and like they hit me up. Roper, like he's like, yo, what's your number? And I gave him my number, and he called me, and he's like, look, like, we actually wanted to hit you up, but like, me and Scheme and you were doing so much stuff at the time. They're like, we didn't know if you would be interested. And I'm like, what? Like, this is the hip.
Hell yeah.
I grew up listening to the Hip Hop Project, hot box in the cars back in the day on a Saturday night.
Yes, sir.
When it was on Saturdays, 8 to midnight. And that's what we would do. We'd all pull up, roll up, and just go cruise the city. We'd put in for gas and just listen to that for 4 hours straight.
Nice.
And it was amazing. So like being able to take that over, and then, like I brought in Slot right away. Because I was there for about a month, and then Roper had to leave. And I was like, yo, I need my man Slot over here. So I hit him up, and I was like, yo, come do this guest spot. And then it was like, yo, you want to do once a month? And he's like, yeah, whenever. And then the second time he came, I was like, just stay, bro. Like, so we ended up running it together. And then we had our little crew. And the crew actually developed from me working at Scratch Academy.
Right.
Like I had a couple students, because I used the Hip Hop Project as like a way to shadow. So like we had this program where like if you wanted to as a DJ and you were open to, and I always was, I was like, man, come out, man, sit in the booth, like, see what it's like, because you're there to try to make this career. Like you might as well get the real side of it,
right?
And like, so I would bring them to the Hip Hop Project on a Saturday night, and then we go to my gig wherever it was, and like they loved it, and it gave me more purpose, and it gave me a platform to really do what I wanted to do. Because I think I got a good ear for music.
Yeah.
But a lot of spots don't let you just play backpack hip hop all day.
Yeah.
And like cut it up and have little routines and stuff. But like,
bro, you and Slot was in your element up there, man. That was like the perfect combination that needed to happen.
It was, because he was playing all the music that I didn't get to pull, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
And we had, similar taste but different taste too. So it was like yin and yang, man. It was like just we were there for 8 years before we had to stop doing that, because that was on behalf of Loyola. Shout out to y'all for kicking us out and not liking hip hop. But they were like, oh, we got to put you guys on at Tuesday mornings at 3 a.m. I was like, all right, cool. We're just gonna cut this then. And
that don't make no type of sense.
Well,
Tuesday morning at 3 in the morning?
Yeah, well, here's the thing though. There was a show after us that was a house music show, and they had left behind a bag of something one time in the studio. That is not natural from the earth.
They blamed it on y'all.
They always blame it
They
on
always
hip-hop.
blame hip hop.
All the time,
right.
bro.
So then it was just like, all right, you know what? Our time is here. And like Slot was really making moves, and as a DJ and all of that. And obviously, amazing producer. He taught me how to, get my drum game up and all that. But it was that, like, he was really trying to become a DJ at the time, and I was really trying to dive into production. So it's like, cool, come hang out at the crib and we'll just trade notes. And that's what we did, and like, and I'm not saying I taught him, because he already had the fundamentals, but we would pick each other's brains.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? And like,
you learn from each other.
100%, man. So, the Hip Hop Project was a huge blessing for me. And I mean, it was a very credible thing. Like for Chicago, that was like the hip hop station, like, so I was able to open for a lot of, different acts just as a DJ based off of that. They would hit us up, like whether it was the DMC stuff, because we, shout out to True from Groundlift, who now owns Miyagi Record Shop. Yeah. He had Groundlift Media at the time. And if you remember, Groundlift Media and then Rude One and Kimski were like the ones throwing all the shows.
Yeah, they were.
At the time. So anything that was hip hop in the city that was a live show was them. Yeah. And like through that platform, I got to, I could call Rude One my big bro, because he saw me play, and I think I played like Afu Ra, Whirlwind Through Cities one night, and he's like, yo, what? Yeah. And then it was just like the very next, he's like, yo, I got this Party the Goodness. I was like, of course you do. I've been there, bro. Right. Like,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And he's like, yo, I got Babu next month, like from the Beat Junkies. You want to open? I'm like,
Yeah.
and, you know, so it's like, you know, those things like created these situations for me that like allowed me these platforms, allowed me to be true to myself, and like not have to stick to that club game. You know, and I still did it. You know what I mean? We had to, you know, because that between the Hip Hop Project and Scratch Academy happened like within the same month.
Yeah.
And it was like, that would allow me to, you know, leave that day job that I was at for 13 years and like be able to make that leap full time. Yeah. And I still feel like I am, even though I got, you know, the union job is still audio. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's still like music and audio is still full time for me. So it's like, that was a huge blessing, man. Like those two platforms, like, and neither of them exist here in Chicago anymore. Scratch Academy's still out in LA. But for those that don't know, that was founded by Jam Master Jay of Run DMC in New York. Yeah, Scratch Academy was opened up in New York originally by Jam Master Jay when he was still alive.
That's crazy.
So that legacy alone to be like, you know, invited in because they called me, you know, like big ones. Toad Style was like he's like, for all the Scratch nerds out there, like I used to watch Toad Style like on videos. There's this infamous video called The Knitting Factory. And like, it's just DJs. Like if you know Qbert and all that, it's kind of that same vibe because they all hung out. D Styles, you know, they all knew each other. And like Toad was like the head instructor for the Chicago branch. And I was just like, what? Like I get to hang with these dudes? And it was the same thing. Like when, you know, like when Boy Genius was doing Red Bull 3 Style and Big Once was doing Red Bull 3 Style, they were practicing. We would all just give each other, you know, give them ideas like, yo, what about this? What about this? And like, it was just a dope community. You know what I mean? And like, you know, the students, like a lot of the folks running the Chicago DJ scene now came from Scratch Academy. Right. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's dope to see that like you're able to carry on these legacies. Yes, sir. Honestly. Yes, sir. And with the heart, you know, and like, doesn't matter whatever music you play or whatever platform you're going for, like, you know, we got to build that community back up.
And you know what's crazy? Strong. Like, I never seen none of y'all DJ niggas beefing with each other.
No.
It never happened. Like, all of y'all was all cool with each other. Like,
because there's a level of natural competition, sure. But again, it's that seek knowledge to share knowledge energy that you surround yourself with. And when they see that the instructors are open books, it gives them even more, you know, it calms their nerves and it gives them more insight, and it just gives them more drive. That's the word I was looking for, to like ask those questions and to go out into the field and see what it's like, and you know, deal with the drunk folks and the requests. I mean, we had a company that we started called DJs Are Not Jukeboxes, based off of the song request culture, and that allowed us to do a lot. We traveled to NAMM 4 years in a row. And NAMM is in Anaheim, and it's the National Association of Music Merchandising. And that's basically every single brand that makes musical instruments or software or anything fills up the convention center every year. And it's like been going on for 30 years. But again, that ticket to get in is like $3 or $4 grand to do the whole 4 days. And we were getting invited to do the media. So on top of that, like, you know, I became cool with Slipknot's DJ, you know, Sid the Third. And it's like, I was a Slipknot fan in high school. You know what I mean? I was in the mosh pits getting my ass kicked. You know what I mean?
In the Jinko jeans.
Yes. But like, again, that just, these full circle moments kept happening. And it's like, how can I not be grateful for this? That's, you know, awesome. And it's like, that's where I'm at now. It's just, that's why stuff like Tai Chi is so important to me now, you know, because it's like, it centers me, but it allows me to like remember those things amongst all the noise that we gotta kind of walk through every day. You know, and I live dead in the middle of the city. Yeah, you do. So there's noise.
Nothing but noise.
It's noise. Real noise, you know, frequency noises, all that. So yeah, I'm very grateful and very blessed, man.
But you know, it's funny too, like when you said that no beef between like DJs and stuff like that, it really never was. Because you know what? Before I would beef with a DJ, I would just like come play at my night at Locale.
Yeah, Locale was, man,
or come play at my night, you know what I'm saying? Look, like I was hurt, you know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, I was out of DJing at Crush and Concrete for a while. I would hit, you know what I'm saying, DJs like, yo, go DJ my spot real quick until I get back. Or, you know what I'm saying, like, see somebody else that I could bring, or, like, I just feel like it's different. Like
it's a different community, because that's what it was. Like that's where a lot of my students came up too, because I'd be like, yo, open for me. Yeah. You know, if I saw that someone was like not just good enough, but like, you know, like talent wise, but like they had the mentality.
You gotta give them the experience.
Of course.
For sure.
And the spots that I was working at Always Trusted Me. You know, I came from a corporate world before that. Yeah. So I knew how to talk the game. And, you know, I had this kind of like a formula that I would like approach managers with. And it was real simple. It's like, if I'm DJing and the songs are hitting right, the women are going to dance. When the women are dancing, the men are going to buy them drinks and try to talk to them. When you're buying drinks, what are you doing? Making money at the bar.
Exactly.
If the bar's making money, everybody's happy. I did my job right. And they were blown by that. Like, oh, that's kind of, that's it. That's it. Cool. Really when can you start?
Yeah, what else you need?
You know, and it was like, it wasn't that like I was playing for a particular person or people. It was just like, yo, I figured out this formula that was like unspoken. And I would just kind of tell folks like, yo, check this out. And, you know, and they would ask me like, yo, why are you not scared to like play music? I'm like, or play certain songs. I'm like, because I could always blend out of it if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I started my career with, you know, pre-formulated sets. But then I also taught that later on. I was like, yo, have 3 or 4 genres of sets in your bag, an hour long to an hour and a half long, because you may get hit up to do a house night. You may get hit up to do a pop night or whatever it is. And that allowed me to get into a space where I would just walk into a room and be able to read it.
Yeah, and it's so much easier now because y'all ain't got to carry records. Y'all ain't got to carry crates of records nowhere. All you got to do is open your computer, have your songs downloaded, and dig.
And you know why, just to add that there wasn't a lot of DJ beef? Yeah, the community respected itself, but we had DJ battles.
Yeah.
We would get it out in that form.
Yeah.
You know?
It was so much, I feel like it was so much room for like, it wasn't like you was getting pushed out of your spot or you was scared. Like, it was so many spots that you could DJ at that it really didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody was really upset or mad at each other or like, oh man, this dude's whack or whatever. We would go to check you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would go to your night to go kick it. And half of the time it would be just to sit there and critique your set.
Of course.
But still, though, that's what we do as DJs. We can't even go into go to a club and have a good time because we're definitely thinking about how that was a terrible ass transition.
I hear 2 things all the time anywhere where I'm at. And that's the worst part. That's why I can't go out. I can't enjoy myself. I'm too focused on what's happening with the DJ.
You spend so much time on the other side. I do want to say, shout out to Rude One and Boy Genius. Definitely need y'all at the podcast. I'll be hitting y'all brothers up very soon. I do got a couple more questions for Sin. But right now, we're going to take it to commercial break. Stay there. We'll be right back.
The Astonish and the Odd podcast. Every Monday, 11:30 a.m. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let's go. It's the OWD family. We're going to do our thing.
Welcome back to the Astonishingly Odd podcast. Now, Sin, I do want to mention that you did another little radio show podcast thing before, like when I was first introduced to you. You know what I'm saying? And I remember something funny happened from that situation. My brother J. Trife,
shout out J. man.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. But y'all had invited him up to do the show.
Oh man.
And
that's
I remember,
still on YouTube, right?
Is it?
What you're talking about?
Bro, like I haven't seen it. I would love to see if
it's still up there if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy. You gotta send it to me, bro.
I'll look it up on the next break for sure.
Yeah, send it to me.
But yeah, tell it.
So I remember J-Dot hit me up and he's like, yeah, they invited me to go to this show. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know how they gonna be, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, nah, they cool, bro. Like, you straight, dog. I said, you know what? I'm about to go up there with you, bro.
Yes, Ozone was there too.
Yeah.
Shout out Ozone.
So he went up to the show, and that was one thing always about J-Dot, man. He didn't really know if people vibed with him or not. But he was such like a nice guy, you know what I'm saying? That I guess he just even didn't anticipate people would look at him like that. Cause
that's the funniest thing about him though, is that how he just did think nobody fucked with him though. Like,
you
know what I'm saying? But everybody does. Like,
he had an honest heart. That's what it was. And not a lot of people can handle that type of honesty. And that's what I think it was. Yeah. He had a big heart, bro. Cause I learned that.
And
that
he
night.
just looked unapproachable. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he had an attitude all
Yeah,
the
like,
time.
he had an attitude all the time, dog. Look, I mean, what are you mad for,
Look
bro?
at that hat. You know what I mean? Like that. We know where that comes
Exactly.
from. Right.
Like, why are you mad, bro? Like, calm down, bro. You can make some raps, bro. Oh man, you still ain't gave me them beats, man. You must not fuck with me, dog. Like, dog. Yes, I do actually.
Check your spam folder, fam.
Yeah, they probably got sent over. You just missed them.
Yeah, but I remember that day vividly because we went over there and then he was just like, after we left from there, he was just like, man, I'm so glad that I had this experience. And I was like, yo, I'm telling you, people be cool and like, I rock with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm never going to steer you wrong, brother.
Sure.
But it like thinking about back then, y'all were doing your thing. And so you being set up to take over the hip hop project, it was like right up your alley. You know what I'm saying?
It came from that. And so shout out to my homie JJ. He ran, it was called CRB Radio, Chicago Record Bangers. And it was pre all of where we're at now. He was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
It was internet radio from the crib. And I met him at a spot that I was DJing. He was the resident there. And he was like, yo, you're dope. Like, you know, I want to bring you on my radio show. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be on the radio. Cool. And then he like gave me the address and it was like a home address. I was like, oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah,
I'll
cool.
pull up. And I pulled up and like he had like, you know, the whole setup, the computer towers. And what we were doing, like in short, he had, so it was through iTunes Radio at the time.
Okay.
Right? So it was, again, very ahead of its time. And in order to be on iTunes Radio, you had to have a 24-hour stream of stuff happening.
Stuff going on.
So what we did was he would record all the guests and then put them on the server. And he just had a tower, that computer tower, PC tower, that was just the server all day, 24/7 playing stuff. And then we would go live. You go through a VPN, knock off that stream, and now you're live.
Yeah.
And it was like incredible because it definitely set the catalyst for becoming radio. And that's why I fell in love with doing that. So I would go by his crib and I learned how to do it. And then he's like, yo, like, let's go to your house and see if we can run it from your place. And I had the extra computer and everything.
Yeah.
So like that became a thing. So I had my own show, you know, Hump Day Thursdays or Hump Day Wednesdays. And it was like, it was just amazing because it was that space where like cats that weren't getting hit up by mainstream radio could get a radio interview.
Right.
Yeah,
and I would do my research.
Right.
I wanted to know. And there was a lot of almost every time I was a fan first.
Right.
You know, J-Dot or anybody that was on the show. That's how, you know, Rude One and all these folks like came about. And like we had AOL Instant Messenger chat. AIM chat at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And man, the chats were going crazy, bro. And that's what it was. We would just record our shows. And then what we would do too after that was we would like record mixes that we would put out to like the public, send them right to the server. So if you're not on SoundCloud or whatever, you can hear it there and all,
Right.
you know, that. But like JJ was like so ahead of the game with that. And it's like, even like the guys like Shazam Bangles and all them, they had cuts on cuts.
yeah.
When Ustream was a thing, and they were
Yeah.
so ahead of the game.
Stream is crazy.
They had
bro.
Jazzy Jeff on. They had
Yeah.
Scratch Bastard. You know, like every big name DJ that was coming to the city, they had over there. So it was like, that's how I met them. They heard about my show. Same deal. Oh, we were trading notes and just learning the tech side of it and just getting real nerdy with it. And yeah, shout out to the V-neck. That was the infamous
V-neck.
man,
J-Dot
bro.
always had that V-neck on.
V-neck on.
But
V-neck,
that
white t-shirt.
that particular one, he was talking about somebody and clowning them. And I forget who had a camera that night. Maybe Scheme had a camera that he just kind of came up on. And he was just learning B-roll and stuff. But like he captured this moment, this essence where J-Dot was like clowning somebody whose V-neck was down to their belly button.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, that was, and after that, like we were just like immediate friends, you know,
Yeah,
like that was
yeah.
it. He was in the video and that video was cool because it was all the homies playing poker at the table.
Yup.
Like it was just, and that was like, that was not acting. That was what we did.
Yeah, on
So
a
it was
daily
just being
basis,
recorded.
yup.
You know what I mean? So it's like, those were special times, man. But CRB Radio definitely set that off for me and gave me like the confidence, you know, because it's like, you know, we listened to the radio and I wanted to be a radio DJ and all that. And, you know, and like, and I was like, well, this is my opportunity. It just comes, and I was like, you know, those first moments of like learning that things come in different forms that you might think.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I had this vision, but it's playing itself out just in a different way that I never saw.
Do you think internet radio is still a thing that could be utilized now? Or is it just like straight like just podcasting or doing like your own thing on YouTube or something like that?
So I think the visual aspect has kind of taken over like just people's attention spans.
Yeah.
So listening to something is like in your car or like when you're cleaning, but like paying attention to it definitely. And you know, you got platforms like Twitch, and now and all YouTube and all these places where you could live stream, like.
Yeah, even Twitter now, they're live streaming on Twitter now.
I mean, every DJ that I know when the pandemic hit, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We were all trying to figure out, like, because all the gear, like the iRig that allowed you to run your set to the phone or whatever and get the direct feed instead of the room audio. Like all of that came from like me just going on Amazon and being like, oh, I could actually just buy this $6 adapter and flip the signal. Instead of buying a $200 thing that was sold out in 2 days because everybody DJ in the world went and bought it. And I understand, you know, so it's like that got my tech brain going. So I would have hit the homies, hey, get this in your life. And I bought like a 20 pack and was like, yo, dropping them off at their front door. You know, COVID was like a heavy thing at the time. So it's like, you know, respecting the space. But, you know, that's where that really came from.
I think with the internet radio, I think that there's room for it and probably not in a grand scale, but it's in the same way that people do listen to podcasts on audio platforms, even though there's visual. There's some podcasts that don't have no visuals. But it's just the loyalists that started off listening to podcasts in the audio space, they stay true to that. I think another thing that kind of took over internet radio is the emergence of like Sirius satellite radio.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because they could get everything that they would get out of internet radio on Sirius.
Yeah, you didn't have to have clean versions anymore.
For sure.
You could play the records that that the record companies wouldn't allow you, you know, Clear Channel, all that. Like you weren't in a chokehold anymore. And that's where we were at. Because it's like, oh man, like I don't have to like, I could play explicit music. I could play the real version. You know, and I could play whatever I want. You know, and so it's a blessing.
So before we dive into this spiritual realm, because I know we all want to tap into that, you know what I'm saying? I want to ask you about, because you are Ukrainian.
Yes.
So everything that's going down in Ukraine right now, like what are your thoughts? How do you feel? What are your emotions behind it all?
Well, I got about 65 family members back in Ukraine, and all of them are still alive. Most of them had to flee. But thank God for other families and surrounding countries that are allies and all that. You know, they were able to go over and be in safe spaces. But, you know, I think that really made me tap into like my lineage heavily, you know, because it was like, not that I like didn't do it prior or like respect the fact that I was Ukrainian, but like being a DJ for a Mexican rapper and being in hip hop and just, you know, where it's like, white people are just few and far in between because most of us don't have rhythm. Let's be honest. That's what it comes from. Most of us don't have rhythm. And a lot of folks, look, I could talk that shit. That's like funny, man. A lot of folks love hip hop, but like there's one of him. You know what I mean? And there's, you know, and it could be, there's a line that you got to respect. And that was all, you know, I always like, I learned later on what it was called, but imposter syndrome. I suffered from that so heavily. Because, you know, everyone thought I was Scheme's Puerto Rican or Mexican DJ.
Everybody thought you was Puerto Rican, bro.
I'm sure on this podcast, someone's going to be like, damn, you white. Because I still get that to this day. I'll know people for 5 years and they'll be like,
damn, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But, like, I think what it did is, like, it allowed me to really respect, like, how my ancestors came over. I'm first generation, you know? So, like, both sides, my mom and my dad's side, I was just talking about this the other day. Like, they came over on the boat. They crossed the Atlantic on the boat. So my dad was 2 years old when he came over. My uncle was maybe 10 years older than him. And my grandma on my dad's side, she got scooped up from her village by Germany during World War II, and she was in the bomb factories making bombs
Damn.
like, in World War II.
That's crazy.
When America or who I forget what ally bombed that, they were able to flee, and they were like, "All right, that's it, we're going." So my dad was 2 years old on the boat when he came over. My mom's side, there's the rest in peace, my Uncle Mike, but there were 3 siblings, and my grandmother was pregnant with my mom 8 months when they came over on the boat and had to hide it because there was a limit of like, I think the max was like 5 months that you could on document be pregnant and still come over because it's a risk.
Yeah.
She just put on a shit ton of jackets and all that and was like, I got to keep myself warm.
Yeah.
And my mom was born on Ellis Island, you know, in New York where they were all coming in.
Damn.
So both sides came over on the boat and it was like, there was this like intrigue from people when they started understanding that side of me, which also sparked that intrigue in me. Yeah. But it was just this like, to round all of it out, it was just very like, it was emotional. And I live in Ukrainian Village. So like we had the rallies down Chicago Avenue. I was out there with the flag. Wifey was supporting it. You know what I mean? And it was just like, like, okay. And like now, like I really tap into it, and like, learning a lot about it and just, wanting to continue that, that's
even at your wedding, it was split. It was half Mexican.
Oh yeah, and
half Ukrainian.
Yeah, and what was dope about that was like as we were planning the wedding, like I bought like a traditional Ukrainian embroidered shirt from Ukraine. She got a dress from Mexico, and it was like the colors were all the matching and similar, but then it'd be like where like our designs are very symmetrical. Mexican is more flowy. It's round. There's flowers, So it's like those subtle differences. But again, like with the wedding, we had a mariachi band open up.
Yeah.
And then we had at the Ukrainian Cultural Center is where we did our reception. So
Trump was pissed. He was upset about this whole thing. You guys went to Ukraine and Mexico to go get your
allies, baby.
But you had this out of Ukraine with you.
I had my dad's band perform.
Yo, hey, they
killed it.
That's bro.
They set it off, bro.
The dinner was like Ukrainian American food.
Yes.
So people were coming up like, what is this? What is this? Damn. But then at the end of the night, we had mini churros and a taco truck outside.
There we go. Love it.
And then and DJ Illinois was my DJ.
See,
look, or our DJ. Let me say
raw.
that.
Like
that's where I found out I'm family with DJ Illinois,
which was crazy. He's your cousin, or something, right? It's
he's
wild.
cousins to my cousin.
There you go. Okay.
I'm like, he's like, we got the same cousin. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So
this
now y'all
is
cousins.
wild. Yeah, we cousins.
Y'all
That's
cousins.
my cousin right there.
Yeah.
I ain't even know it.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. It allowed me to just really start understanding who I am more so, and like what my real path is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, like we all got to work and we all got to find that lane for ourselves. But like, what is my soul purpose? And like my soul purpose really, like I'm starting to understand. I'm having dreams of my grandmothers, remembering stuff and like, it's just like within meditation and spiritual work, you tap into those things, and like that's why like I wear this shirt with pride. It's not just like a shirt from the Silver Room because I support Silver Room and Eric Williams,
right?
But like it means something to me, and it's like it is like my power is ancestral and it's powerful, and we all got that, what I mean, in different formats.
Dude, I was talking to Dre, and me and him been trying to go to Arizona for a while now because I've seen the pictures of the mountains and the night,
the
with
red
the stars,
rocks.
the red rocks. It just looks very otherworldly, kind of like a different planet. And I hear they got a lot of aliens that go by too. So
I got alien stories for days, bro. But I got them.
You said that you went to Arizona, you went to Sedona, and you got to experience that. Could you talk about that? Because I'm trying to get this guy to go.
So my first time in Arizona was a couple years back with wifey. We did Sedona and Tucson. So we started the trip in Tucson. So wifey's really good about like I'll handle like the Airbnb and the ticket, but her planning game is crazy. Like I've never road tripped with anybody like that. She'll find all the little spots for us to break up the trip, and it's just perfect. So we did Tucson. That was dope. Saw a crazy green sky that flew above us, which was that alien.
Green sky.
There was like a green orb that took over the sky. The whole sky.
The whole sky.
And here's the thing. That was the first time she had dabbled in astrophotography at the time, but this was like, yo, we're gonna go out there and this was where she was gonna set forth all that knowledge that she put forward because you could do it. And Tucson in particular was a no light community. So by 9 o'clock at night,
the stars, that's why I want to go. The stars look amazing,
dude. I'll show you guys pictures. Like I have pictures. We caught something that looked like a UFO in the sky too.
Meteors,
all kinds of stuff,
satellites, everything.
So we had to go to Sedona, right? So it's so you got Phoenix is in the middle, right? And then Tucson is 2 hours south. Sedona's 2 hours north of that. So it was a 4-hour trip to get back to Sedona. And there's this road, the only road in. And as you're making this turn, you just see the red rocks. And it's just like, it's like breathtaking, bro. It stopped me in my tracks to the point where I almost had to pull over.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm just like, oh my God. So she, you know, when we met, like I had been more on the full-time job life journey and just started tapping into spirituality, and she had the vice versa. She had been spiritual for a long time, but just was like under a year into being full-time as a photographer and a creative. So that was like yin and yang too. So she found this dude, shout out to Rogelio out there. He's been doing what he does out there for 35 years. He's a native to those lands. The story goes, we met him on Instagram. She's like, yo, let's do this spiritual healing out there. I was like, yeah, I'm down, whatever. Like, I'm game. And he hit us back and he's like, yo, meet me at the Whole Foods in Sedona, right? So
Makes
like,
sense.
okay, right. So we didn't know that like Whole Foods was like the spot.
Right.
Like they got like live music in there and it's like the spot to go. Like to the point where you could Yelp it or Google it for Sedona and it's like comes up as one of the top 10 places to like
hang out and shit.
Yeah,
wow,
it's wild.
That's crazy.
And they got a lot of other stuff. Don't get me wrong. They got a lot of other
I
stuff out
remember
there.
Sosa, like the DJs was doing Whole Foods, like they were DJing at like Whole Foods.
They were doing it at Mariano's across the street from my house.
Yeah, exactly.
They had the house music DJs over there. Yeah,
that's crazy. But
yeah. But
Whole Foods is just such a place to go kick it at.
It is, though. Who knew? But here's the thing. We go on these early morning hikes in Sedona and then see the same people over there kicking it in their Jesus sandals and all that. You know what I mean? And like the walking sticks and the whole nine. So I felt real at home. So I was like real comfortable with the situation. So we're like, cool. We meet up. And he's like, cool, I'll pick you guys up and then we're going to go drive to the mountain and then we're going to hike up about 45 minutes because he had like his own trail that he created. Because again, he's native to the land. He's been doing these healings for 35 plus years at this point. So we get in and it's this 96 Tahoe with the school bus steering wheel and the beads on the seat. And I was like,
that makes sense.
I felt kind of sketch, you know. I was like, I don't know this dude, you know what I mean? I got to be like the protector here in case something goes down, you know.
Walked in there like, where's the peyote?
Yeah. So we end up over at the parking spot that he gets and we start this climb up. And I was like, deathly afraid of heights at the time. And I could fly, I could do all that, but like open air heights, like deathly afraid of it. So we're climbing, we're going higher and higher. And they got like energy vortexes, they're called, where the energy actually spirals. And you can see it tangibly because the trees, the trunk goes in a spiral.
Oh,
and I got pictures there. I'll show you guys too.
Okay.
So as we're walking up, you know, he's telling us all this and like you're seeing it firsthand, you're feeling it like, wow, man, this is really dope.
Yeah.
So we get up, there's this real famous energy spot called Airport Mesa out there. And that's like the tourist spot to go. We went another 1,000 feet above that.
Damn.
So we were close to 6,000 feet up
Shit.
at this point.
You're flying at that point.
Yeah, you are flying.
So we were up there. And he pulls up and we're on this cliffside that's probably from your couch to this fireplace. And it's a cliffside, you know? So I'm at the wall of it. Just hugging
that's where I would be.
Bro, terrified. Like literally my body's shaking. And he's telling us these stories and he's got his feet dangling off the side. Right. And I'm just like, yo, you're gonna fall. So this man, this is like a 2-hour journey that we paid for and like, you know, whatever. So we're like, maybe 20, you know, the climb up is like half hour. Then you do an hour and a half with the healing and then you come back down. So
what part was the healing? The going into the vortexes?
No, so this is where I'm getting at. So we're on this cliffside and he's like, hey, I could tell you're scared. You need to be rooted right now. So I'm like, all right, yeah. So I stand up, right? And he starts, you know, doing the body taps and all the different, you know, shaman, you know, situations. And by the end of the personal healing that he gave, I was at the edge of the cliff looking over, crying and smiling like, it's so beautiful. I couldn't believe I was missing this.
Damn,
and like, yeah, and
it changed your whole perspective.
Dude, my whole life got changed after that. So
my toes is tangling right now.
my hairs are standing up just thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a beautiful thing. So like, we did that, and that really that was like my first legitimate like healing experience, like shamanic journey. I saw like, we did a meditation where we were like laying down and like our heads were facing the cliff, like not at the edge, but like we were just facing the cliff. And like, I felt like I was floating, bro. I was so deep in, and a little marijuana. That's it. No peyote, nothing like that.
Okay.
And like, but that was like every day for me. So it wasn't like it was anything outside of my usual headspace.
Yeah.
But that
The environment,
man, bro, it's
everything.
different. It's
I
different.
don't think anybody needs to be on peyote 4,000 feet.
Not at all. Not recommended.
Is marijuana legal out there?
Oh yeah.
Arizona?
Oh, yeah.
Buy it?
Yeah, recreational. That was like the first thing I did. I landed. I was like, cool, where's the rec spot? You know what I mean?
We in Arizona, baby.
Yeah, it was good. But even that, like, when we were in Tucson prior, like we went as far south as we could go before we hit the border, and we were in a reservation. Like we went to a Native American reservation.
Okay.
And we got to eat like the flatbread out there and or the fry bread. I'm sorry, the fry bread. And like it came from like an 80-year-old grandma with her family selling it out the back of the truck in front of the church. I'm like, that's what I want right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I want. I want what he went through to happen.
And I'll tell you this, like, it's a very powerful situation, but if you're open to it, it does wonders. And it could bring up,
traumas,
either your own past traumas or generational trauma. And that's things I'm learning right now. Like a lot of the shit we carry isn't even ours.
Damn, that's crazy.
And it's wild. And that's what, like, going deeper and learning these different things. And again, shout out wifey. Like, she's so like tapped in and tuned in that like now I feel like I always kind of felt like I was behind in that sense, like I was like playing catch up, but like it was never about that. It's just if you're doing the work, you're doing the work.
Yeah.
And like now we bounce off of each other, we share a lot of stuff, but like that was the first one. And then like, we went back that night, and here's the other side of it too that was wild. They have monsoons out there that are like, if y'all don't know what that is, it's just a crazy heavy downpour that like just like literal buckets. Like we think we get rain, like it's just like you don't even see raindrops. It's just water.
It's a waterfall.
Yeah, because of the changes in the temperature and the environment and all that. I was looking eye level with a black cloud.
Damn.
No shit.
So on top of being scared of heights, I'm like, hey, what happens if it starts raining? He's like, well, the torrential downpour is about 15, 20 minutes. We'll take cover. But if the guys decide to take us, it's our time. I'm like, no, bro.
Brother.
Bro,
that's when I start
sorry,
heading to the exit.
Babe, what did you pay for it?
We didn't pay for that.
I love you, but what did we just pay for it?
We didn't pay for that. Like, no, you look. You gonna tell me I'm on this trail with torrential downpour, water everywhere. Like,
and
I
it's
feel
clay.
like, I feel like I could just slide off the cliff.
100%.
No,
It's our time to go. It's our time to go. That's what I've been saying on podcasts. You never know.
I would have been like, it's my time to go right now. Sorry.
About to leave. Yo, but going back to this green spaceship real quick, we can't just pass over that. So what did you see? What was that?
So we like to like do our vacations right. We don't like to spend a lot of money outside of that. That's where we put our money. So I'm always big on like, if we're gonna go somewhere warm, I gotta have a pool in the backyard, and we'll rent like Airbnb houses, like a whole house, and nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need 10 bedrooms and shit. Just a little single family home. So we had the first day that we landed, that was our pool day.
Okay,
we're like we Ubered some booze, some food. They had a grill back there. Cool. We're gonna just
thank God for Uber.
Pool day all day. So nighttime came, showered up. I came back outside. I was like, I'm gonna go for a night swim. So I'm in the pool. She's like, I'm gonna get into this astrophotography. And we heard this like noise, which like essentially we've learned recently that it could have been a Sasquatch because they are known to be out there.
That's crazy.
And the noise that we heard was like an animal just completely being mauled. But that's their kind of like cry that they give out. So right after that happened, we were like, what was that? Then creepy. This orb of light, just green, and I'm telling the whole sky, and it like went right above us, and we're both like, yo, what is that? I was like, okay, this is different. Like Arizona is different, but it wasn't like scary. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a negative feeling. It was just like, okay, like there's definitely stuff out here. You know what I mean? Because again, the energy's different. You're not dealing with all the frequency noise. Open, the air pollution is non-existent.
Right.
Did it get like really quiet when that thing hovered?
Yes, it was silent.
That's crazy.
It was silent. So that was like our first kind of like dip into the astrophotography in that kind of realm. Then when
Did your wife get it on camera?
No, because she was still setting up.
Oh,
and we just both kind of stopped and we were like, yo.
Damn,
I was
man.
in the house actually cooking dinner when the noise happened and she ran inside and freaked out and the screen door was open. I'm like, yo, what is that? And she's like, I don't know, but it sounds so wild. And I'm like, yo, and it kind of freaked us both out. And then we went back outside and we ate. And after we ate, I was in the pool and that's when she was setting up and we saw that. So, but that kind of like, and that was like our first night. You know what I mean? So that set the tone already. So we're like, okay.
Bro,
Right. It's
bro,
like
this is what I want to go to Arizona for. All it is right here.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to go for that. I'll go to the game. I'll meet you guys.
Hell yeah.
I'll meet you guys later.
See y'all soon.
See y'all soon. Hey, when you guys ready to have lunch, just call me.
No, it's funny because we've been trying to get like a guy's trip going, me and Javy for the longest time, his brother, you know what I'm saying? And that's the first thing that Javy recommended for us to do.
And here's the thing, you don't even have to do like a shamanic healing to feel cleansed out there.
Right.
The air is different. You know what I mean? The stars are insane. Like you could see full-blown galaxies just looking up.
That's crazy.
And it's so gnarly, man.
Did you go to the point where you can be in 4 states at once?
No, we didn't go there, bro.
I would want to go there.
Yeah, definitely. We got those are bucket list things for sure. For sure.
Like you could, I guess it's like what, Arizona, Colorado,
Nevada.
Yeah,
Nevada, and
yep.
something else.
And
New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta save some things to go back for.
Yeah. But yeah, that was we ended that trip with the with Rogelio, and it was just incredible. It was just like, and I'll tell you this, man. When we got back to the parking lot of Whole Foods after that, he dropped us off back at our rental. And like we were both like, damn, I just feel like I came off of like drugs right now, because you go on such a out of body experience, and then you feel like 100 pounds lighter, and like it's crazy. So
Sounds
and that's
like
the thing.
peyote.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
That's,
Sounds like peyote.
that's how Aaron Rodgers feels after ayahuasca.
Now, what's the difference? Like, isn't that like?
So peyote is a plant. Ayahuasca is a concoction of different things.
Okay.
Ayahuasca is different plants that they put together, but peyote is the plant, and like ayahuasca is like the ceremony. That's deep. Like ayahuasca is deep.
So
bro.
I'm gonna throw up basically doing this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because you're
that's
purging
part of it. Yeah, that's
you're
part of it.
purging the energies inside of you. That's the whole point of it. I've never done it.
Yeah.
But I know people that have, and like, Rogelio was telling us about it. He's done a lot. And we became so cool with him. Like he's, like he sends us like affirmations and like stuff like that. And then like when we went a second time, we took my mom, and like we went, first thing we did that first night, set up a session at his place.
Yeah.
And we went there and we all had a, meditational session, a little shamanic healing through that. So it's just like we know, like when you step outside of Chicago, you get a different perspective. But like that's a life perspective. Like that's a whole different. Again, like we went to Oceanside in Cali, like I think the year after that, and we were like maybe 1,000 feet up cliffside, and I'm just chilling, and like wifey was like, yo, you realize like you're not even tripping about the height? And I was like, damn, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and now like I'm okay.
Because that fucks with me anytime I'm in California.
Yeah, it messes with your equilibrium.
Like you drive through like I don't know if you ever
mountains
driven
and
through the
stuff.
mountains of
Yeah.
California,
that's
bro.
gnarly.
That is some crazy. Like you
And when you got
literally
people
looking
passing
down
you,
like this though, like
it's crazy.
and there's like one house in the middle of this valley of like mountains. It's like, how do you even get there?
We went stargazing. We were in San Diego, and she really wanted to go stargazing one night. So there was a place about 2.5 hours away, and we had to leave at like 2 a.m, right? To get like that and then see the sunrise. Bro, when I talk about white knuckle driving,
Yes.
in the pitch black,
Yes.
and it's just
you're good for you, brother.
bro, I'm just oh my God, I'm
High
gonna
beams
die.
and shit.
Huh?
High beams on the whole time.
Yeah, all the way.
But bro, it's like you don't like it's a cliff. Like, and it's not like you have like the railing or anything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
a lot of times
cliff,
you
dog.
It's just free
Yeah.
falling if you
Yeah.
over
It is because on the way down after the sun rose,
Yeah.
you see all that. And
You
you're like,
see
oh my
everything, yeah.
God, I drove through that.
It's
Like,
easier to
in the
probably
dark.
drive through
in the dark.
at night in the mountains of California than it is to drive through them in the day.
I'll give you that because you don't see
You won't
what's
see it. You
how
will
high
freak
you are.
out. Yeah, you would probably freak out. Like I remember we were in San Bernardino and we were driving back from one of the shows I went to, fucking Rolling Loud or something. I don't know. And we're driving back, and then I remember driving because we didn't go back to LAX when we went to San Bernardino. We drove to like Santa Clara or Santa Ana. We went to Ronald Reagan Airport, right?
Yeah.
Bro, from San Bernardino to Ronald Reagan in the daytime was the worst experience ever. Like, dog, like you literally looking down and it's like,
Well, yeah, especially if you're in the passenger seat.
yes, you're like thousands.
Or you're not driving.
You're not
in
driving,
general,
yeah. Like I think driving will be better for you.
because you got to look forward.
yeah,
you
like
got no
if you
choice.
just sitting around here just
Like, you know,
looking
wife,
around.
Yeah, no, wifey be like, oh my God. And I'm like, I can't look.
Yeah,
I
I
could
can't
crash.
look.
I
I
could
can't
fall
look.
off. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Sedona's a special place. And, you know, like it's got real touristy, sure. But again, it's like meeting someone like that that's got his own spot and his own location to go hike is incredible. And we did all the like Cathedral Rock hiking. We went 6 a.m. and did the sunrise
So
hike.
you did all of the regular shit that I was trying to go do some realness.
Here's
you
the
know?
thing, though, how I knew I was from Chicago, and Chicago fucked me up. Excuse my language. This is how I knew. We were over there. Everybody on the trail, anytime, anywhere you're at, is like, hey, good morning, how are you? And they wait
Right.
for a response. They look you dead in your eye, smiling. Hey, how you doing today?
A genuine greeting.
Yes. And you're like, I'm good. Like, how are you? Oh, I'm great. Have a great hike. I hope you enjoy. And they got their kids out there. They got their dogs roaming free. And it's just happy.
Like,
You
man,
know what I
you
mean?
understand? I just woke up.
But that's how I knew. I'm like, man,
from
Chicago
Chicago.
tainted me, bro. It
Man,
tainted
man,
me.
I
But
All right, Javi, we'll go to Arizona.
Yeah, we hitting it up before we go though.
go
We got all
there.
the spots.
And then when you do
Gotta
that,
get
then
the
go
list.
down to Mexico and do some spiritual healing in Mexico.
Okay.
There you go.
I did
plug
like a
us.
week's worth of it in the mountains of Tepoztlan.
You guys
That
got to
was hardcore.
lick a toad.
We gonna hit you
Lick a
up,
toe?
man. Where we
Please.
Lick a
I got the
toad.
spots.
Okay.
Bro, that's why what's his face's weed is called Toad. Mike Tyson, because he does the
Oh yeah.
He licks toads?
Yeah.
he looks toads.
Yes, it's supposed to be
He
like
does all
similar
type of
to,
stuff.
Yeah.
to the booms.
Yeah, it's supposed
It's supposed to be like booms.
It's a certain type of toad though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a spotted toad,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
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 That's where the toad from Mario comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all of y'all watching, you already know what this is, the Astonishingly Odd Podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, I'm going to remind y'all to like, share, subscribe. If you listen to us on audio platforms, or if you didn't realize we on audio platforms, we are on anything you got available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Deezer. I ain't even know about Deezer, but guess what? We on it.
Oh snap!
We own it, you know what I'm saying? So check us out. Once again, I go by the name of Astonish.
Javi the 1J Envy.
Hey man, y'all know, man. Packers party with Diddy, bro. Oh, Chris Hill, man.
Scendsei music in the building.
And we'll catch y'all next week. Stay right here. Stay tuned. Keep watching. We love y'all. You already know. Peace.
Peace.
The Astonishingly Odd Podcast. Every Monday, 11:30 a.m. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let's go.
It's the O-double-D family, we gon' do our thing.
Astonish. We came to bring the payment on fame. Picture all the things that we
It's the O-double-D family, we gon' do our thing.
High speed. We gon' do our thing. Hobby. We do
It's the
our
O-double-D family, we gon' do our thing.
And homie Chris Hill. We came to bring the payment on fame. Picture all the words that we say.
It's the O-double-D family, we gon' do our thing.